Thanks everyone for being here today. So for those of you who have a strong attention to detail, you might have seen that we've changed the topic for today a little bit. We ended up tweaking the slides yesterday with Audley, and we're going to be focusing slightly more on a specific use case around in-app messaging with the presentation today. So I'm here with Audley Hornig, who's an app marketing specialist at Albert Heijn. So maybe by hand, who in the audience is familiar with Albert Heijn, which will help us? Yeah, of course, Niels. Niels is in our team.
You are too?
Yeah.
Nice.
So 3 people. So we'll spend a bit of time, obviously, explaining who Albert Heijn is and talking about the business is one of the biggest Dutch supermarket company. And I will also be introducing briefly Batch and who we are and what we do. So the agenda for today is going to be basically 3 parts: quick introduction, Batch and Albert Heijn will explain what the businesses do. We will then dive into Albert Heijn's mobile app strategy. The Netherlands is a very interesting country in terms of penetration rates for digital and mobile, with some of the highest penetration rates in the world, so a very advanced country. And then we'll dive into one specific use case around how Audley's team is boosting the app performance via the use of in-app messaging. Does it sound good?
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, sounds like a plan. Okay, cool, excellent. So quick forward about Batch. So we're a French company based in Paris. We've been in the market for 8 years. So I'm assuming very few people in the room know us, even though we started attending those APS events more regularly than in the past. So we're very briefly customer engagement platform. We help our clients centralize their user data, create unique profiles, and then communicate with those audiences through email, SMS, push notifications, in-app messaging, web push, all of those channels that marketers like you guys use. So 8 years in the market, we have roughly 350 clients across Europe, mostly in France and Germany, a few ones in the UK now, and a few others globally. I'm one of the co-founders, by the way. Roughly 100 people, and focusing mostly on large accounts and pretty big scale-ups. The platform has a few core differentiators. I'm not gonna bore you with them today, but we have a product that is very powerful and also simple to use. We'll show you a few wireframes, and we'll show you the interface briefly. It's all in one, so as a marketer, the platform lets you centralize all your user data and get access to all your channels, and it's very powerful with personalization, as we will show you in the use case. And also, we're the only company in our space to actually hail from Europe. We store all of our user data on physical European soil. All our competitors use cloud, public cloud, and we don't. We do bare metal, so that's one of the differentiators as well of the platform. Having said that, I'm just going to hand over to Audley to start talking about Albert Heijn. Maybe can you walk us through, before we dive into the mobile app strategy, maybe the broader business, who is Albert Heijn?
Yeah, of course. Well, only I think one person in this room knows Albert Heijn. So let me briefly explain what Albert Heijn is and what it is in the Dutch market. Because as you can see, we are the largest supermarket chain in the Netherlands. And with having said that, we have over 1,200 stores in the Netherlands. But we also have a website, an app where we talk about later, but also online shopping delivery. So it's a lot going on, like an omni-channel supermarket. But I think, to be honest, most of all, like one of our core beliefs is filling plates of 6 million households every night.
Day?
So that's a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you guys are known to have one of the most advanced loyalty program, and at least in Europe, powered by a lot of tech. Can you maybe set the stage as well around how the overall Albert Heijn loyalty program works, so that will help contextualize for what we show afterwards?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think it's important to understand that as we have a lot of stores and we have online sales as well, it's important to understand that we have mass promotions, like it's there for everyone. And on the other hand of the spectrum, we have personalized promotions. And that's where the interesting part is, because the personalized promotions are only offered in the app, which I will talk about later. So that makes the app already a very crucial part of our technology possibilities, solutions that we offer. But you also wanted to...
Yeah, I just wanted to have a quick focus on the tech investments. So you guys are known for having invested a lot in this area.
Yeah.
Like a huge team, technical team working on the internal of the loyalty program.
Yeah, that is indeed a nice thing to mention. That I think what we discussed shortly before is you asked me how big the tech department is at our side, but actually I think at our company it's like over 125,000 people working, but all the marketing people and all the tech people and all the data people, they're all working with tech. So you cannot say like, oh, marketing people are just like campaign, and they also have to understand our tech platforms and how we work. So that I think is interesting.
Okay, cool, excellent. So from there, we're going to focus a little bit on obviously the mobile app strategy of Albert Heijn. So fitting the broader topics of interest of the APS crowd. So as I mentioned earlier, so the Netherlands is one of the most advanced countries in Europe in terms of penetration rate. Do you want to talk a little bit about the market? It's a small but very interesting.
Very interesting market, and as you can maybe already see on the slides, like I think the app is really an answer that we give to what we see in the slides. And what do we see? Like to 83% of Dutch shoppers, so that's a lot, use a supermarket app. So there is a lot of opportunity there, as you can imagine. And also, like almost 80% say that they want to have the convenience of like using the app at every stage in their customer journey. So if they are like lazy on the couch and they think like, oh, I want to do my grocery shopping, okay, then the app is there, so they can use it like at all stages. And I think what's also super interesting to say, and what we also will talk about later, is the 60% of people seek out personalized offers via our app. And we will discuss it later, but remember this.
Absolutely. So yeah, as a consequence, so we're talking 83% penetration rate. You guys own 37% of the market. So as a consequence, you and your team end up running one of the country's biggest shopping app. Can you maybe walk us through the key KPIs of that app?
Yeah. Slide. What do you say? Like a snapshot of our app, of the homepage of our app, on the right side. But what is of course more interesting to mention is that on a monthly basis, so we have 3.5 million active users, so monthly active users. But what's maybe even more interesting is that our customers use our app on average 3 times a week. So that's a lot. And as you already said, we are like a supermarket, so people of course do groceries. But in our app we also offer recipe inspiration. You can of course shop online, but also activate your personalized offers. So various reasons to go into the app every week.
Excellent, cool. And There was a little secret. We just found this quote. Sorry, some numbers that I forgot to correct. So we found this quote that said that this study from the magazine Industry Food said that Dutch people are more likely to carry, thanks to your app, an Albert Heijn bonus kaart, which is a loyalty program card, than a driving license. So we wanted to bring this quote to illustrate those numbers. And obviously, like all of those big industry players that have invested in digital, in the end, there's many benefits of running a strong mobile app strategy, which is obviously better brand experience. Your clients have your loyalty program on the go all the time, and of course, as we will see afterwards, the conversion is usually higher on the app. This is something we see industry-wide across Europe, across all our clients. Apps tend to cater to the interest of the most engaged, most loyal clients, and in the end, it tends to boost business KPIs, all business KPIs. So we're going to dive into the use case we wanted to present today. So as I said, our platform lets our clients engage with their audience across all type of channels. Today we just wanted to focus on one of my favorite channels actually in terms of the tactics marketers can apply, which is in-app messaging. So you're obviously familiar with mobile. You know, mobile is well known usually for push notifications, messages coming from outside of the app, and having users come back to the app when they're not browsing it. In-app messaging, on the other side, is a technology that works from inside the app. So it's going to be triggered pretty much similarly. It's going to be targeted and then activated in the app. It's usually going to be event-based, triggered by specific events. And it's very powerful because it lets marketers trigger very specific messages and very contextualized messages at very specific moments of the user journey. That results in click-through rates that are usually extremely high, between 15 and 25% on average. We'll show you some numbers afterwards as well. Where push notifications, when they're broadcasted to the entire user base, usually results in 1 to 3% click-through rate, and when they're targeted, between 5 and 10%. So in-app messages is very powerful from that perspective, and it really lets marketers send and run very tactical campaign.
And maybe to add on this slide, I think. As you can see here, it's always also very easy to create it. It's very not it's really time effective, and you can everyone here in this room can actually create this. You don't have to be a designer. Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the benefits of the platform we build and the technology we give to our clients. Part of it is obviously an easy to use UI where you can, as you can see on the screen, this is the batch UI where you can actually build and pre-visualize directly from your dashboard in-app messages that you will then run inside the app. Yeah. And what I also like about that, about the designs, is the ones that you show, like with the picture, but they are all pre-made designs that are offered by Batch. So that made it really easy for us to also set up A/B tests to see what fits in the customer journey. Is it a picture, as you can see here, but you offer also banners with only text, so different designs that are pre-made, which really makes it a lot easier for me to create. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's we've always tried to build product that lets marketers work independently from their tech counterparts. Obviously, the big hassle is always when you want to run or make modifications in your app. You usually need to work with a developer. When you build email marketing campaigns, usually you work with designers. So for mobile and with in-app messages, we try to build a product where the interface lets you combine blocks and then run messages inside the app without having to work with a developer. So the benefits of in-app messaging are many, but as I said, it's very easy to contextualize inside the app. It's easy to run experiments. You can run A/B tests pretty easily, and it's also very easy to trigger inside the app with real-time targeting. That's one of the benefits of the platforms as well. We'll gather user events in real time, so when users browse the app, each page they visit will trigger an event on which you can trigger any specific in-app message, if you will. Maybe Arlie, you can tell us a bit about the benefits you saw, because it was a new experimentation for you. You experimented with in-app messaging for the first time with Dash. Yeah. I think maybe some context. At Albert Heijn, we have multiple marketing channels. You probably all know, email, television, all kinds of marketing. And 2 years ago, we started with in-app messaging. And why did we do that? That's, I think, nice to understand. It gave us an extra reach. So we see a shift from people who were really active in email who were not really active there anymore, even like 38% in our case. So that's a lot. So the inactive people we could now like reach via the app. But what is also interesting is that some people did not subscribe for our mail program, but they do have our app, so they use our app. So it also gave us like an additional reach. And that's, of course, super relevant for us, but also for our customers, because now it gives us the opportunity to actually communicate at a relevant channel for the customer. Because inactive people on mails, you shouldn't be sending them mails.
No, absolutely, and in-app messaging as well is very beneficial in the sense that it doesn't necessarily on one end require it's not you don't have to require opt-in consent through iOS or Android, as it is the case for push notification, for example. What we see with push notification is that on average on iOS, you will see opt-in rates as high as 50-55% industry-wide. So you're always missing on usually half of your app population. In-app messaging, on the other hand, doesn't require consent. It just appears inside the app. It lets you reach 100% of your active audience. And what we saw with Albert Heijn is that it helped you regain reachability over 400,000 users that were actually visiting the app, using the app on a regular basis, weren't reachable through other channels, whether push notification or email, and were all of a sudden reachable via in-app messaging.
Yeah, and I think also in addition to that, it's also part of our mobile-first strategy, because maybe as a lot of people here know, like third-party restrictions are increasing every day, so it's harder to get the right data. And so therefore we want to invest in our own channel. So we are in control of the data and we are in control of the channel. And that makes in-app a very interesting solution to look at.
Yeah, sure. And in general, we end up working with companies that, in the current data privacy and sort of end of a third-party cookie environment want to regain control over their first-party data. So regain control over opt-in data and which clients they can contact at which time, what kind of data they store. So obviously in-app messaging and all other channels are a big topic of interest for a lot of companies in the market these days. From there, having explained what in-app messaging is, we're diving into the last part of the presentation, which is the actual use case. So we've set the stage on who is Albert Heijn. We talked about the loyalty strategy at large, the mobile app strategy. And now Ali's going to walk you through what the bonus box is. So something that I also discovered by starting to work with the group. It's one of the key features, the key engagement and monetization feature in the Albert Heijn supermarket app. So Ali will explain how it works, and then we'll show you how we drove interest and reactivation to this feature via in-app messaging.
Yeah. Maybe I'm actually curious, because you know Albert Heijn, you said. Do you like know the bonus box, or?
I never use the app.
Okay. Oh, you never use that? Oh, you do, or no?
Yeah, you guys do, yeah?
I do use the app, but I have an issue because the app is only in Dutch.
Oh.
So I'm literally using two phones and opening Google Translate with the camera and to translate.
Okay, there's an opportunity.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I wanted to ask, because you said you have like 3.5 million new users every month, and I mean Netherlands is one of most export-friendly countries, I think.
Yeah, good point.
That number
No.
of people that are talking probably only in English, so.
No, I think you have a really good point, because I can imagine that recipes are also quite hard to follow sometimes.
Yeah.
Sorry? Notifications, in-app messaging, yeah. And you did also use it?
Yeah,
or?
I use it multiple times a week.
Oh, well, nice.
At least, well, in my case, it's also because Albert Heijn is the closest supermarket to my home.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can relate to the issue of the lack of English option, but I, to be honest, don't run into that issue too much, but I've also been in the Netherlands for a while.
Oh, yeah.
So in this case, I think, at least for me, the bonus box is just it's a godsend.
Okay.
In terms of just the dopamine release with.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now we need to explain for everyone.
Yeah, I think.
What is this thing?
I think first of all, maybe it's good to say that bonus box. I don't know what languages you all speak, but might sound a bit weird, and I think it would be something like surprise box in English. But what is important to understand is what I said in the beginning. We have the mass promotions that are offered like across all stores and all online channels, and then we have the specialized offers, and that's why I'm going to talk about now, because the specialized offers are only accessible via the app. So you have to download the app, which is of course very interesting for us, but also for the client, but also for us as a company. And what's also good to know is that they are based on your transactions, so they are really high. They have a high value for people because it's based on your own transaction. And even more important to understand, I think, is that they are available every week. So every week, what you do is go to click on the app, and you go to click on the bonus box, like on the home screen. And then you see some 15 or something personalized offers, which are all based on your transactions. And then you have to actively activate them. So once I do that, then the orange check mark will appear, and then this discount is automatically added to your account. So I think that's a really interesting way to have the customers engage in our app, and they come back every week. So it's really important for us that they keep on using that, and that's why how we use in-app messaging. I think you can go.
And of course the gamification element is really, really important in how it works, and in terms of what you discover each week, and then how you redeem it in store.
Yeah.
So I guess the big once we've said that, so obviously this feature of the app is driving much higher conversion usage, and all KPIs are better than users not using the feature. So obviously the name of the game is how do we drive as many people to the feature using it, and obviously how do we make sure that people that are actually using the app but not engaging with the feature are being driven back to it. So that's the campaign we wanted to focus on. Maybe Audley, you want to walk us through how you set up that campaign?
Yeah, sure. So now you, I think, kind of understand what the bonus box is and how important it is for us that people actively come back. And what we did is, what our goal was actually is to let people come back. But if you send a campaign, maybe you have experience, it's sometimes you only boost it during that week. So you only boost engagement during that week. But the weeks after, the effect does not really remain. And that's actually what you want, right? We want not only a boost in bonus box activations in the week of the campaign, but also the weeks after. So therefore, we try to set up this. I think you can go one back.
One back?
Yeah, this one. This one. Okay. That's why we set up this campaign, and it was available on the home screen. So everyone that opened the home screen saw the message. But what we did was a reactivation campaign. So people that use the bonus box, so they know what it is, they have activated, they maybe even bought something, but they did not do that in the past 4 weeks. So we want to reactivate them. And so that's the people where we send the message to. They open the app, haven't used it in 4 weeks, and then this in-app message appears, and it says something like, especially for you, every week's personalized offers. And then what happened?
So you have a quick KPI analysis?
Yeah, so we displayed, so not we sent, but the 128 people, 20,000 people saw the in-app message, so they saw this message. And of that group, 25% clicked on the message. And as you know, the benchmark is 13%. So this is high engagement on this in-app message. Yeah. And what was interesting also is that we saw that 22% of the people who saw the message activated a offer. So they went to the app, they saw the in-app message, and they activated the offer in the app. And even 16% of the total group bought a bonus box personalized offer in the stores or online. But
it's not all, yeah. And so, we know marketers are usually KPI hungry people, so we dived a little deeper into the campaign results by exposing some of the post-click cohort behavior we saw afterwards. Do you want to?
Yeah. So I'm gonna stand here.
Yeah.
As I said, like before, we sent the in-app message, but we didn't only want effect, or we had the hope that there was not only effect in the week of the campaign, but you already see that there's a high increase in the blue line is offer activations, so people who activated, and the yellow line is redemption, so people who actually bought something. And what is super interesting, I think.
And I was just going to underline that again, we're talking about people that are using the app on a regular basis, but simply not engaging with the bonus box.
Yeah.
And these are the effects of just driving them back to the feature.
Yeah, and so that's for sure. And what's interesting to see here is this is the week of the campaign, but you see that the effect remained in the weeks after. So the in-app message had not only effect in the week of the campaign, but also in the weeks after. So yeah, super interesting, I think.
And if you want to get even more granular.
Yeah. So as a supermarket, we have like campaigns every week, and we run them on all different market channels like television, all kinds of marketing channel, mail, and it's always very hard to say if, in this case, the in-app message is the one that resulted the figures that we just saw. Was it not maybe an email or something on television? So to understand that, we analyzed the behavior in the hours after that people saw the in-app message. And you see that here the in-app message was sent, and from the moment it was sent until like 2 hours after, the most activations were done. So we can conclude that the in-app message had a direct effect on the bonus box activations. But then also, of course, it's always nice to know if it has led to revenue, and therefore we dived even a bit deeper in the data, and we try to understand if and when people are buying those offers. And here you again see that the moment that the in-app message was sent, so people 120K saw it, and then on the same day, the 01. 10% of the total test group actually bought a bonus box item in the stores. And there's also an effect in the days after, but it's interesting to see that it's in top of mind of our customers when they go to the stores. So
people basically jumping out of their couch with their app in their hand to run to a store. That's the behavior. Cool, awesome. So we're nearing the end of the use case. Maybe a quick word of conclusion, Audrey, and maybe Niels as well, who works in Audrey's team. You want to add something at the end in terms of key takeouts? But so these are the final points we wanted to highlight. If you want to. Yeah.
In-app messaging, like I just said, we started 2 years ago, and it helped us to grow our active app database to 3.8 million active users. So that's really helpful. But I think actually, to be honest, like our core belief at Albert Heijn is to offer the best shopping experience, and that's why. Yeah, that's what we want to deliver to our customers. And I think using this in-app message and being relevant in the customer journey, being able to communicate one-on-one with our customers, really improves our customer experience. And also, of course, increase the value of our own channels, as I mentioned before. And I think we also maybe shortly discussed the standard and custom events that are offered by Badgewood, made it really easy to implement the campaigns without a lot of help of our data teams or product teams or whoever is normally needed in the process. So,
cool.
yeah.
Awesome. Well, Arlie, thank you very much for this presentation. Any questions or remarks for Arlie? I can see one hand over there.
Yeah.
You will use it now, or?
I definitely
We have
will.
a heavy user in the room. That's great.
But in this case, I'm just more curious. With the numbers that you present, are they identified specifically to in-app messaging, or did the other promotional efforts play part? For example, because I know from my own experience that I go to the supermarket on a Monday, I know that I need to open my app, activate my offers in the store.
Yeah.
So it doesn't always happen, of course, at home. But afterwards, when you go to, for example, use a self-scanner, there's these little devices that you can beep.
Yeah.
They repeat to you what you have in your bonus box.
Yeah.
Does that have an effect on the numbers that are presented, or are these isolated to just in-app messaging?
Yeah, good question. I think this campaign was a reactivation campaign. So let's imagine that you use your bonus box. You are on Monday in the stores, but you haven't checked it for 4 weeks. That's when this is sent. So therefore, I think that the numbers that you saw and the activations that were done after could really be connected with the in-app message. Because if we would send it to everyone, then it would make not a lot of sense to a lot of people. For example, you maybe who use it very regularly. So that's all. That's what we really trying to do: be relevant to our customers and communicate the right message to the customers.
Yeah, but I meant more I think it was the cohort slide.
Yeah.
So the actual redemptions of the offer.
Yeah.
Because in that situation, even if it's a reactivation campaign, I can see some scenarios in which, when presented with an in-app message, the reiteration of these offers on the scanner, for example, helps and contributes. But then, do you measure that somehow? Do you know the attribution? Or?
We didn't do that for this analysis. But even if it's shown on those like the scanners or other digital solutions that we offer, we do still see like an increase in. So even though maybe the scanner helped, but we do see like that they come back, and I think that's important. And maybe there was a scanner like somewhere here, but still they kind of are remembered, like, hey, do you still know the bonus book? So I think it helps.
There has to be a data scientist somewhere in your team that knows the answer.
Yeah.
You need to.
Yeah, no, but I don't think it matters that much, because the most important thing is a behavioral change, and that we saw after the message. And if they are remembered again by one of our digital scanners. Mm-hmm. Fine. That's, I think, only better.
Okay, thank you.
What's your reason for not automatically giving the offers to the users so they have to go in and activate it? The reason why I ask is American Express have exactly the same thing, and it really winds me up that I have to go and activate it. Because I always find out, like, hey, I got 10% off a hotel that I've already booked. And that winds me. That actually provides a negative experience. So why don't you just activate it for customers? Because Tesco's do that in the UK.
Yeah, but I think good question, by the way, and I think that if it would be offered automatically, let's say you have this 15 offers, personalized offer, and it is offered to you automatically, you have the chance that people don't know that. So having them to activate that, to having them to activate the offers every week, makes it in top of their mind, right? So they know, like, okay, I've activated something, maybe I want to buy it. Maybe they were not even planning to buy it, but now it's in the bonus box and you activate it, and I go to the store, maybe I do actually buy it.
So maybe you don't buy it.
Sorry?
Maybe you go, as in maybe you guys actually make more money by him booking it without the discount.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. But and we have the discounts, like the mass promotions are offered to everyone. So even if you don't have the app, you can make use of promotions within Albert Heijn. Yeah.
Do we have any more questions? Yeah, one in the back.
I just want to understand: is Batch UI a software?
I'm sorry, what?
Is Batch UI a software?
Yeah, it is. No, absolutely. If we haven't made it, clear enough in the beginning, I went a little quickly in the presentation, but it is a software as a service platform on which marketers log in every day. This is a snapshot of the UI as well. On the right, this is where Ali and her team add their apps, review their campaign, create any kind of message, and then track all of the performance of those campaigns. So yeah, you go to batch.com or just hit us up, and if you want a quick demo afterwards, happy to show you the interface, obviously. Yeah. Any other questions? If you want to continue the conversation, so Audley is here with Niels at the back, and then the Batch team is here as well, James and Marjolaine and I. We have a booth by the entrance, just hit us up. I think we can probably call it a day for today. Thank you, Audley, again. Thank you very much.
Thank you.